Hi guys, you have joined an amazing challenge this month, and I am so glad that you have decided that this is your month. You have drawn the line in the sand and you are going after it. Whatever your personal goals are, you can achieve them. As someone who was constantly failing and had not learned to fail forward until 2 years ago, I can attest to the fact that if you determine that you can do something and you get up every single day and draw that line in the sand over and over, and you decide that even if you do fail, you will fail forward, I promise you, you can do exactly what you set your mind to. This month, we are doing this amazing book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. And you guys, this has everything you need to make this month absolutely spectacular. We're going to talk about chapter 1 right now. It's an easy read, just a few pages long. And I want to point out a couple of things to you. The author talks about numbers. She talks about how someone can sign 100 people, 100 level ones, and only have 10 that are working the business, and then have 3 that are absolute rock stars. So on your team, you will have something like a ratio. And I see this in Plexus as well. I talked to Jules, and some of them have signed 20 people, and they've rocketed to the top with 3. Other people have signed 100, and they've rocketed to the top with just 2. I mean, it just doesn't, you can't predict it, really. So it does come down to a numbers game. But there's a different kind of ratio that is even more important than that one. And that is your own personal prospecting ratio. When I was a new ambassador, I had just drawn my line in the sand. I was going to do this. I lost count at the number of people I was talking to. Why did I lose count? Not because there were so many, but because I started to get discouraged. I went through my messages. How many people had I been talking to? I went through my list. I stopped at 72. I was so discouraged that I had only added a certain number at 72. Now, it was actually more than that I was talking to. But then, after listening to a very intelligent man named Jim Rohn, I understood that I had a ratio. I had a ratio of how many people would join me per the number of people I was talking to. Now, the great thing is your ratio can get better. But I hear over and over, people say, well, I'm going to get to the next rank. I'm talking to 3 people. 3 is not enough. If you were 3 out of 3, then man, you're amazing. But most people are not. Out of that 70 plus, and it was probably more like 100, 18 people joined me that month. That's a fantastic number looking back. But at the time when I didn't understand ratio, I could not figure out what I was doing wrong to get more. I wanted more people. I wanted all 72. I was not happy with 18. And that's fine. But I did not understand that what I actually needed to do if I wanted 72 is probably talk to 700. Do you see what I'm saying? Your ratio for the number of people that will take you up on this, that will see the vision, that will run with it, is actually a little low. I'm just being frank. But here's the deal. That's not discouraging to you. Think about, I'm sure you've seen it. There's a cartoon where you have 2 men underground. One of them has given up. He's dug, and right here behind this wall are diamonds. And you see him trudging backwards, depressed, discouraged. He stopped right before he hit those diamonds. But then you see the guy down below. They're at the same spot, but he has not given up yet. And you know he is just a few more whacks and he is going to hit those diamonds. You guys, diamonds are difficult to get to diamond. You know the whole process. digging and clearing and clarifying. And I mean, there's so much. We talk about diamond in a rough for a reason. You never know who your diamonds are out there. It takes work. It is hard. It takes persistence. It takes loving people. But we all have a ratio. So keep that in mind when it comes down to numbers. Do not get discouraged because 3 people told you no. I promise you the diamonds in this company have been told no more than you. So expect no. And you know what? They just kept trudging. They just kept going. They just kept offering the opportunity to people. All right. You should never stop recruiting. Too many people need what we have. You need what we have. You need financial freedom. You should never stop doing that. Now, as you rank advance in the company, you may find that more of your time is going towards your leaders than prospecting. If you are a silver, a gold, 90 to 100% of your time should be spent in prospecting. When you're gold and above, okay, that starts going down a little bit, 90%. And then when you're maybe senior ruby, that's when 80% of your time is recruiting and 20% of your time is going towards building up your team. So you guys, I don't feel like I have made it. Just because I'm a jewel does not mean I stop sharing the opportunity with people. It does not mean I stop prospecting. It does not mean I stop getting contacts. So one of the things that this book will help teach you is how to get those prospects and talk to them in such a way that will make them want to join you. But I'm going to give you a little tip. I want you to look outside yourself. I once had a former student that came to me after class and said, "Why didn't you say hi to me?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I pulled up next to you at a stoplight and you didn't look at me. I was waving and waving and you didn't see me." And I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was in the car with my kids, my little world, and I didn't look out my window." Didn't think anything of it. 2 weeks later, he came to me and said, "You did it again. I pull up to you in this bright yellow truck. I even honked. You never even looked at me." And it dawned on me. I was so involved in my own little world. I was not looking outside my windows, outside my world, to see anybody else. What if the next time you go to the store, you knew that the clerk that was helping you check out did not like her job? And she had 3,000 followers on Instagram. Do you think that she could be a diamond? Yeah. What if that soccer mom that pulled up to you in the brand new Escalade and got out of the car and looked picture perfect, and you thought, well, she doesn't need what I have. Just like you thought about the clerk, or maybe didn't have time to look at the clerk, but that soccer mom was drowning in debt and desperate for an extra income for her family. You guys, there are diamonds in the rough everywhere. If someone had judged me, they would have judged me as someone who didn't need the money, maybe needed the products, but certainly wasn't good with friends, way too negative. It's a dang good thing that my friend did not judge me and still offered Plexus to me, still posted on Facebook, still answered all my questions, even when I was really negative. You just don't know. You just don't know. So your job is to offer this opportunity to absolutely everyone. Now, let's talk about something else. You're at the end of the month last month, and you're looking around at all the advancements and all the rank advancements, and you start comparing and getting discouraged. We have a cure for that. It's called action. You have any problem in this business when it comes to network marketing, and I promise you there is one thing that will fix it. It's called action. And that action means getting out and talking to people about Plexus. It means meeting for coffee and talking to somebody about Plexus. It means going out, business card in hand, ready to exchange information. It means when you are at the counter somewhere and the person behind you is jovial and happy and talking you up, you go, my gosh, I really like you. I would love to be your friend on Facebook. Here, put your name in and friend yourself. Be ready. You guys, be ready. People need what we have. And what we have is a tool for digging up gold in the backyard. So let's give it to them.